spectrum disorder is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. There's often nothing about how people with ASD look that sets them apart from other people, but they may communicate, interact, behave, and learn in different ways that are different from most people. The learning, thinking, and problem-solving abilities of people with ASD can range from gifted to severely challenged. Some people with ASD need a lot of help in their daily lives and others need less. Autism's core symptoms are social communication challenges, such as difficulty with verbal and nonverbal communication, and restricted, repetitive behaviors such as resistance to change, repetitive body movements, and ritualistic behaviors. In autism, these symptoms begin in early childhood, although they may go unrecognized, persist, and interfere with daily living.
DSM is the diagnosing manual for mental disorders. So they state that signifiers must have been present from an early age to receive the diagnosis. Those are deficits in social communication and interaction, restrictive and repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities. And they also note that these symptoms must cause clinically significant impairment in daily functioning of the individual. They also give three levels. 1 is requiring support, 2 is requiring substantial support, and 3, very substantial support. So this just shows that it truly is on a continuum on the spectrum. People can be very high functioning or they can have many more challenges. And then often, but not always, present with ASD are intellectual disabilities and structural language disorders. And also in recent years, reported frequencies have approached 1% in children and adult populations, but we also know that that is thought to be even a little bit higher.
Applied behavior analysis, also known as ABA, is an evidence-based therapy that school counselors can use with students with ASD. ABA can help students increase their language and communication skills, improve their attention, their social skills, and their academic performance, and help decrease inappropriate behaviors. The ABCs of applied behavior analysis are antecedent, behavior, and consequence. Using the ABC format can help us understand why behavior is happening and how different consequences can affect whether or not that behavior is likely to reoccur.
ABA is basically looking at behaviors. So how the behavior works, how behavior is affected by the environment the student is in, and how learning takes place. So in order for us to look at a student's behavior, we first have to figure out the why. So we look to see the antecedent. What is happening that is driving the student to have the behavior that we either like or dislike? And then from there we can determine what types of treatment, what types of strategies we can give them.
Here we see a number of simple yet effective strategies that school counselors can support teachers using in their classrooms. Classroom environment and design is really important. It is helpful to students with ASD to have comfortable environments, and sometimes that requires teachers to explore non-traditional setups to their classrooms. One of those setups is flexible seating, but with rules. We want to make sure that students with ASD are comfortable while they're learning, but we also, again, want to give them enough guidance as they're using things like flexible seating. The use of agendas and routines is also especially helpful to students with ASD. Structure equals comfort, and that goes for everyone. And when teachers feel like that the class needs to deviate from the posted agenda or from the daily schedule, it's really helpful to students with ASD for teachers to let them know ahead of time and let them know the reason for that deviation. And then lastly, sometimes students invariably are going to have a moment. And when a student with ASD is having a moment, he or she may need to leave the classroom to reorient themselves. And so it's helpful if teachers have a plan in place ahead of time where there's a safe environment for students to go while they're recomposing and reorienting themselves.
I think I stated it earlier, when you've met one kid with autism, you've met one kid with autism. It doesn't mean they're all the same. They're not cookie cutter. They're going to be different. They're going to have different needs. And the thing that will get you the furthest with them is love and patience. They just want to know that they're okay and they're safe with you. And it might take them a little longer to grasp something, but it doesn't mean that they won't. They just need a little bit of time.